The NFL into the Fanfare newsfeed.
Yes. The Dolphins, they are making every single move they have to make to freaking get to and try to win a Super Bowl. The first thing, Bradley Chubb, you need a pass rusher. You need to be able to rush Patrick Mahomes and rush Josh Allen with just 4 men. If you have to blitz somebody, that is a different defender that you can't use to cover Stephon Diggs, that you can't use to cover Travis Kelce. Yes, check. Then Jeff Wilson. They needed another running back. Raheem Mostert is a burner, a Big Ten 60-meter champion in college indoors on the track. He's a burner, the Dolphins' current running back. But Jeff Wilson is a dude. He only had 4 carries for the Niners last week because Christian McCaffrey's there now. Christian McCaffrey had 18 carries. But you have Mostert, you have Jeff Wilson. Now you have a running back tandem. Remember when the Niners went to the Super Bowl 2019, they had 3 different runners with over 500 yards, 2 receivers with over 700 yards. The Miami Dolphins are that on steroids. You're going to have 2 receivers with over 1,300 yards in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Now you have a plethora of running backs as well to distribute the ball to. Dolphins are doing everything right. They are literally doing everything right. Bradley Chubb, now you have your pass rusher that you need. Jeff Wilson, now you have your running back tandem that you need. I could not be more excited for the Miami Dolphins. It's about to go crazy.
Another trade to talk about.
What the hell's going on out here?
Well, the Denver Broncos just played their final game with Bradley Chubb on their team. They've just traded him to the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins adding a premier pass rusher to their mix. And they flipped a first-round pick to Denver to do it.
Yep.
So, what does this mean? Miami no longer has a first-round pick in 2023. It's not their own that they traded because they, you love this word, Chris, forfeited that.
Yeah.
They forfeited it
Sure.
in the punishment for tampering with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's been involved in 2 forfeited first-round picks now. Deflategate and this one.
Yeah.
And, the interesting thing is that Brady could have had really nothing directly involved in both of them. Didn't tell somebody to purposely deflate footballs. Right?
Well,
Should I go in that direction?
questionable if that ever happened, but keep going.
At any rate, Miami forfeited their pick. And the pick that they just sent is the one they got from the 49ers in the Trey Lance trade. Yeah. So the final pick of the first-round pick of the Trey Lance deal belongs to Denver, which didn't have a first-round pick of their own because they flipped it to Seattle for Russell Wilson.
Anything happened today? Did I miss anything? Oh, my God. So I'm out looking at a house to buy, looking at doing an investment deal. And all of a sudden, phone starts going off. Everything starts going crazy. And people are like, hey, it doesn't look like we're going to hit the trade deadline. And all of a sudden, at about 2:30, 2:45, all hell breaks loose. All hell absolutely breaks loose in regards to what the Miami Dolphins did today. It's simply amazing. I'm going to get to some of your comments in a little bit, but I want to take those of you who haven't had the time to go through the chronological order of what happened, and I'll bring you up to date. Today I was starting a new series. This new series we're going to be calling Tua Tuesdays. Today is Tuesday, and I was going to talk about Tua's performance in the Detroit Lions game, which I'll still hit on a little bit as we move forward, but we got preempted. We had something that just jumped into the timeline, and we have to take a look at it because, oh my God, this is absolutely insane. Good insane, not a bad insane. This is a good insane, but nonetheless, this is a big day for the Miami Dolphins. So I hadn't planned on talking about this. It just happened. I had a whole show written up, scripted out, how I was going to talk about Tua's performance against the Lions. But, going live, you never know what happens, and you have to jump in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go basically through the progression as to what happened today. And if you guys don't know who I am, boom, that shows you. I'm Barry Cunningham. That's me. We're going to talk about what happened today. It's unbelievable. So let's look at this. Boom. Adam Schefter. This is at 2:30 p.m. the Dolphins are expected to work out a new long-term deal with new pass rusher Bradley Chubb. So it's starting bubbling up at this point that maybe there may be a deal in place. Then John Moser says the finality of the Dolphins deal with the 49ers for Trey Lance. As Rich Eisen just said, this was all about Trey Lance. So they gave up Trey Lance, and in return, they got 3 first-round picks, and they flipped them into 3 unbelievable players. The 21 pick package trade for Jalen Waddle, who we already know is balling out. The 22 pick they sent to the Chiefs for Tyreek Hill. The 23 pick they now have sent to the Broncos for Bradley Chubb. Everybody knows the Dolphins don't have a first rounder next year, but in essence they just picked up a first rounder. I mean, Bradley Chubb is a stalwart. He is an elite edge pass rusher, one of the tops in the game. He's only 26 years old, so he's going to be around a while. And it only cost them a draft pick where they weren't going to get anybody anyway. And then, of course, sorry, Chase Edmonds, you had to go. And on top of that, they brought in another guy, which I'm going to talk about, an amazing running back. Dave Furona says, ESPN's Dan Orlovsky, after Dolphins trade for Bradley Chubb, Miami can win the Super Bowl now. Hashtag understatement. I did not feel that way this morning. Miami can absolutely win the Super Bowl now. Of course they can. Everyone I've talked to, I mean, people just stopped. I was at a gas station and people were like looking at their phones going, holy crap. Did we just pick up an edge rusher to go to the other side of Agba and Jalen Phillips? And are we going to really be able to put pressure on a quarterback without having to blitz a corner or a safety or an extra linebacker? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Absolutely. Bradley Chubb, here's some stats on him. Bradley Chubb is 26 years old. He's 5th in the league right now with 6 sacks. He's 18th in the league in pressures with 26. And he's 12th in run stops with 11. He's an elite pass rusher just now entering his prime. Perfect. I mean, I don't know what Chris Greer did and how he came up with this deal, but oh my God, this is amazing. Another tweet about it. Now, in addition, they move Chase Edmonds. I did see a comment before I started. Somebody called him Edmonds Scissorhands, which is unbelievable. He's gone. Didn't make it through. He's out of here. We've seen him. He hasn't really performed in the game. So now we bring in another elite running back with a lot of speed who used to play with Raheem Mostert and was there when McDaniel was in San Francisco. 6 foot 213 with speed and power and can catch out of the backfield. Yes, a running back that can catch. Anyone who's watched the Dolphins games of late has known that Chase Edmonds just wasn't catching the ball. Perfect complement to Raheem Mostert, and he's already familiar with the system, so he could play right away. So basically for the number 3 pick, just to recap, we got Tyreek, Waddle, and now Bradley Chubb, and in essence, the running back as well. That's some serious deal making. That's like upper level deal making. Joe Shad says on Twitter, when Brian Flores was the Dolphins coach, he indicated he was not a fan of the concept of star players. Suddenly, this Dolphins roster is full of star players. Notice we haven't even mentioned the quarterback right yet. No, not even talking about him right now. The organization and staff embrace it, and fans, yes, we will benefit. Everything gets better. From around the league, Robert Griffin III, former quarterback, Dolphins just launched their Super Bowl chances to the moon. Yes, start booking your hotel rooms in January and possibly February. The Dolphins have a legitimate chance to go deep into the playoffs. Deep into the playoffs. This is great news for us. And then Tyreek Hill goes, am I reading this right? Is this thing on? Seriously, is this thing on? Am I reading this right? He just went nuts. He was streaming a video game when he found out, and he just screamed. He absolutely screamed. This is huge. This is what the Dolphins needed. We got an airplane going by here. But, yeah, unbelievable turn of events just happened not just now, but in the last couple of hours that have changed the entire landscape of the Miami Dolphins. Every single week for the last 2 months, we have looked at teams just sit back and just throw and not have to worry about any pass rush whatsoever. That changes today. I bet you he's in uniform this weekend. I think he's 6'5", 260, 270. Big time guy. So, I'm happy. I couldn't be happier for what we got going on. And I want to know what you guys think. Let's look at some comments here. T. Carter says, is this working? There we go. The only decision Ross ever got right, choosing to keep Greer over Flores, the Suyu machine. Oh, Brian Flores, you've been found out. If anything, this has shown Brian Flores is a complete, utter loser of a coach. A loser. I mean, how did he not see these players? How did he not understand where this team wanted to go? He didn't want star players? Okay, tell me a Super Bowl team that doesn't have star players. Unbelievable. True fan, what's going on, brother? I'm really excited to see this year, but next year, fully healthy, that will be our year. Hopefully Jones comes back. Let's go Dolphins. Holy, interesting about that. Did you know, this is one of those did you know facts, that he is his sister is the sister-in-law of Brandon Jones or something. They're actually related, distant related, not really related, but talk about all in the family, bringing it back down here. Brian Flores was one of those guys. It's his way or the highway. Thankfully, he found 95. Go away, bud. Go away. Raymond Roddicker says, I smell playoffs. You know what's going to happen? If we don't make the playoffs, a lot of us, including me, will be let down. We will definitely be let down. But I'm not really concerned about it. I know we're going to be okay. If we don't go far this year, we're going to go far. Stephen Ross is going to open the checkbook. He's going to bring in an offensive lineman or two, going to bring in some D-backs, and then this team will be set. Absolutely. So does he get number 55? That's really interesting. Let me look at my score sheet here. I think that's Baker's number, isn't it? 55 is Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker's been in the league 5 years. I don't know if he's going to get the number. He can ask Jerome Baker. He's going to have to probably give him a check or something. I don't know if he'll just give it up or not. Can't tell you. Wow, yeah, Black Boy, you serious? You want to go and Baker? Yes, that was Baker. Where is this? How many Pro Bowlers on Miami? I say 6. Wow, you guys are talking so fast. Yes, Baker. Thank you, guys. Byron definitely has to come back if he knows what's smart. If he knows what's good for him and he sees the possibility of getting a ring, I think he'll be back as well. If Jones come back, we'll be unstoppable. Yeah, and we get X-Man healthy again, that would absolutely be unreal back there. Let's see here. I see a single digit. What's that? Oh, thank you, UC3. Thank you. Sorry, we are excited. We are in full send mode. Yeah, you guys are hitting this really hard. I love it. Absolutely. I'm going to go in and talk a little bit about the game, but this is some big news, and I'm loving you guys talking about this because it's what I'm in Miami Trick. That's the theme song right now. So, they're going to keep hating on us, but now it's going to be really tough because we don't even have to pay attention to them. We win a couple games. Right now we've got the Bears up next. The Bears traded, by the way. The Bears traded for Claypool from Pittsburgh. So they brought in a big-time wide receiver to go with Pickens. So, Pickens is with Pittsburgh. They took Claypool from Pittsburgh. He's now on the Bears, and Justin Fields will be throwing to him. We should have went DB. Maybe there was nobody out there. Maybe there wasn't anybody worth the currency to spend to grab a DB. But I can tell you this, if we have an edge rusher who can put pressure, it's really going to get these younger guys back there some cushion. Quarterbacks are not going to be able to sit back there for 3 and 4 seconds and just pick us apart. I don't care who. I don't care if it's Josh Allen. You're not going to be able to just sit back and take your time throwing against the Miami Dolphins. 100% Chubb will improve Phillips. I was watching Phillips get doubled most of last game. Nah, that ain't happening anymore. They can't. So I'm not sure how they're going to configure this because you got Seiler and Wilkins down in the middle. You got Agba. Is he going to be out there as well? If they're going to do all kinds of things right now. Now is the time for Boyer to really start game planning. What are you going to do? Bring some heat. I mean, this coming Sunday against Justin Fields and the Bears, you know he's a runner. You know he wants to get out there. This is perfect timing to bring Chubb in. Contain him. You got two guys on the outside now, Phillips and Chubb, that can run. This is definitely going to be fun. If Tua never gets hurt, I see us still being undefeated. Undefeated is going to be tough. You're watching that right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're 8-0. There's just too many things, too many games. You're playing 17, 20 games this year once you get through all the playoffs. That's a lot of luck. I don't care how good you are. That's a lot of luck for someone not to get hurt. And the thing with it, things aren't like they were in 1972. Not at all. So these guys also, they're making big money. They're not going to rush to come back and potentially injure themselves. So going undefeated, I don't know if anybody will go undefeated again, but the Dolphins will have a good run. We still do. Hey, Laura, we still do need an offensive line and a corner. True, but if you noticed, this last game, Snell is doing really well, and now with Eichenberg hurt, we don't know how long he's going to be out. They're being kind of shady on the information with him. But, Austin Jackson just got reactivated. So it's going to be interesting where they're going to plug people in. Let's see. Joe, you're absolutely right. It is officially a new era for Miami football. Now, if people don't start filling that stadium up, I don't know what. You got to get out there. Get out to the game. We're going to be giving away tickets to the Cleveland Browns game. So don't forget to go to windolphinstickets.com to enter for that because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to want to go to the games now. Whatever happened to Cedric Wilson? He played last week. He was running back punts, didn't really do much, but he was there. There's just one ball, and there's only so many opportunities, and you better catch it. You got Sherfield, you got Wilson, you got the new guy. What's his name? Edwards. Even Easy E can't even get on the field. That's amazing. Can't even get on the field. You're right. Good time for the bye week coming up. I believe the bye week is the 20th. It's after you got the Bears, then you got the Browns, and then I think that's when the bye week. And we're going to need it because we got some strong games, strong opponents coming up. I don't know what's up with that as a comment. I thought he was actually going to be trade bait. There's something else too. I just remembered. Just got to tell you guys about this. You realize now that we're past the trade deadline, Gesicki is still here. So at the end of this season, they must plan on either giving him a big check or hitting him with the franchise tag. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him, but he's obviously not going anywhere. Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel must have looked at the situation and said, we're going to keep him. So Mike Gesicki, he's here for the long haul right now. Wooback, you're absolutely right. Tua is our guy. Just hopefully he can stay healthy and keep sliding, baby. Keep sliding. I agree with you, Brett. Shell has stabilized the O-line along with Williams and Armstead. I was breaking down some film earlier because I was going to talk all about Tua tonight, and I just watched Aiden Hutchinson, the rookie for Detroit, just get manhandled. Just got, I won't say slapped. I mean, there were a couple plays where he just stopped the rushing. He's like, I can't do anything about this. This big man-child, Teron Armstead, is just eating me alive. I'm just not even going to rush. Once again, the offensive line, the 1-2 times I think Tua got sacked were blitzes that somebody didn't pick up the blitz. But other than that, they didn't get close to him. Best Dolphins squad since 2013. Yeah, you may be right. I'd say that McDaniel found a slot for Mike Gesicki. Absolutely. We cooking. Snell 114. Wow, I didn't know this. Look at this number here. Thanks for this. Snell has gone 114 snaps, 4 pressures, one hurry, and I think that means 0 sacks. That's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So let me go into a little bit of what's been going on with Tua. I've got some plays, and I've also got some Twitter hate that I want to show you. And it's not the hate that you would think of. This is from people who, for the longest time, have absolutely hated on Tua. And as they hated on Tua, they're now having to, for lack of a better word, eat their words. And they look pretty stupid because now they're abandoning their hate fest and trying to come on board. So let me see if I can get this squared up. Okay, so I'll pause this as we go along. Hold on, let me get rid of that. So hold this. Get rid of this stick. Okay, am I the only one who's not excited about the Hill trade? Notice this was March of 2022 with Tua. I'm just not excited. Smoke. And this guy's on YouTube as well, and he's kind of changed his words. But at this point, he wanted Watson to come play for the Dolphins. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Deshaun Watson and all that baggage down here in South Florida? What would that have done with our fan base? I don't want to win that bad to bring in Hannibal Lecter in here. And I know some of you guys may say, oh, it doesn't really matter. It was just all accusations. And I don't know. I got a wife. I got 4 sisters, actually 5 sisters. I've got a daughter. I've got 2 granddaughters. Yeah, I'm not really interested in seeing, him come down to South Florida. Not the kind of guy I want on our team. Not at all. So let's see what else we got here. The only thing Tua has done for us this year is have one historical quarter that helped his stats, get 2 concussions, causing him to miss games like always and play very inconsistent and mediocre of that 4th quarter, honestly. Oh, and get carried by the defense. LOL. These guys are nuts. I mean, it just goes on and on. I could play that. I'd rather talk to some of your comments, but it's just amazing what some of these people say. I don't know if you guys are on Twitter and see some of this stuff. If the Dolphins fans and Dolphins organization hasn't learned from the Tannehill era that you don't put all your eggs in one basket, what happens if you get to the best wide receiver and he's still struggling? What's the excuse now? Well, I don't think we need to make an excuse. I think Tyreek's on track to possibly get 2,000 yards in a season. I think that Waddle's on track to get about 13, 14, 1,500 yards in the season. These people were never watching Tua. They were looking at a guy that was hurt. They were looking at a guy like Brian Flores that was misusing, actually I'll call it quarterback abuse. And so I want to go to a video that this was from Dan Orlovsky and also from, let's see here. All right, so let me go here. This is Orlovsky. And Orlovsky's talking. And he's showing right here.
Lions is off the charts.
Look at the throw. A lot of people saw this touchdown, but I don't know if they realized just how good of a pass that this was. This pass here, he's showing it. 2 things I want you to look at. Look at the offensive line once again building a pocket around Tua. And so you've got Jalen, who's basically doing a curve route out from underneath. And as he runs, there's only one place to put this ball. One place. And that's to Jalen Waddle's outside shoulder. And he drops it in there from 40 yards out. Boom. Just dropped it right in there. That's just incredible throwing that people aren't giving him credit for. And this is from a different angle. From this angle, you can see Tua. Look at the pocket. There's nobody near him. Nobody near him at all. He throws this ball. Boom. Money. Absolute money. Nothing you can say about that. So Emmanuel Acho decides he's going to show the same video. I'm going to shut up and let you hear what he has to say. Let me play this.
Team meeting. Why do I love Tua? Because he's too manipulative. Watch, we're in the red zone. Tua has to move the middle field safety. Pay close attention to where the middle field safety starts at the beginning of the snap, at the middle of the hashes. Watch what Tua's manipulation does. The Dolphins, they're in a 4-by-1 formation. Tua's going to look to his right at the slant, but when he looks to the right at the slant, watch where that takes the middle field safety. Middle field safety watching Tua. Pay close attention to Tua looking right. Tua is too manipulative. By looking to his right, boom, middle field safety moves from the middle of the hash to the right hash. But who's Tua going to hit? Mike Gesicki, who's now on the left hash. Sure would have been nice if Mike Gesicki was closer to the safety, but he's not closer to the safety. Why? Because Tua is too manipulative, moving the safety with his eyes. Now Tua's going to hit Mike Gesicki for an easy money touchdown. But here's what I love most. Not only is he too manipulative, Tua is too he's too accurate, y'all, because what has to happen, the ball has to be split in the middle of the 8. If he throws it to the front side of the 8, that's a kill shot for the defensive back. He throws it to the back side of the other 8, all of a sudden Mike Gesicki has to make a tough catch. But split the 8s like you're playing blackjack, that's 21, touchdown. Tua, he's too manipulative and he's too accurate. Now, the Lions, they are in 2-man. It is very simple. Man, 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 man. Man, what I show you and highlight here is this safety's communicating, hey, big dog, play outside of Tyreek Hill. I have your inside help. That's why his mouthpiece out. He's telling Jeff Okudah, play outside of Tyreek Hill. I have your inside help. But Tua is too accurate. Tua's going to notice, oh, wait, both of y'all safeties are going to play low. I'm just going to hit Jalen Waddle high. Jalen Waddle did a bunch of incredible things on this play. I'll let my guy Dan Orlovsky point out the offensive excellence. I'm focused on Tua and my obsession with him. He's too accurate, y'all. Look at that.
Too manipulative, too accurate. I hadn't heard the word manipulative before in describing Tua, but when I saw that, I was like, absolutely right. There are so many nuances that Tua makes and does as a quarterback that the average person doesn't see because the plays are happening like really fast. So you're not able to see everything until you break it down. And I was going to slow it down, and I'm like, this was perfect. Acho just did a perfect job in showing it. And if you could imagine, I'm looking at you, and basically I'm Tua looking at you, and I know you are, the safety sitting back, and he looks him off just a little bit like he's going to throw this way, knowing that Gesicki is coming across. Then he only has a window like this to get the ball in. And boom, that ball is just smoked into Gesicki for the touchdown. The Jalen Waddle pass was just stupid. I mean, the touch on that ball, in addition to the distance, he laid it into his hands from 40 yards away, and you still got idiots on Twitter talking about how Tua is not that guy. Well, you know what? If he's not that guy, there's a lot of stupid NFL players out there because you're thinking he's fooled them all because, damn, if he is not hitting these passes. Let me see what you guys got to say about this. Yes, Tua is extremely accurate. Yes, he will have some bad throws. Yes, the timing will be off on a few. But overall, it's sick. Remember, over the last two games, he is 50 of 71. And it should be 4 touchdowns because one of the things I'm extremely pissed off at, is that by not challenging that Sherfield pass, which was an obvious touchdown, then he would have had 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns, and I don't understand how people aren't saying that this guy isn't an elite QB. And he hasn't had an interception in 2 games. So what do you want? If you don't think Tua is an elite quarterback, if you don't think that Uno is that guy, what would it take to get you to understand that he is? What would it take? What kind of shake do you want to see for you to understand that he is that guy? When you've got NFL players breaking things down and showing you, and I'm trying to show you stuff, and you can look on your own, what are you looking at if you don't think he's an elite quarterback? Just crazy. I just joined. What did I miss today? Not much. Just the Dolphins securing their playoff future. Wow, what a day. What an absolute day. C says he's glad that we trade Edmonds and got a real running back. I feel bad for the guy. He got a shot, though. He cannot say he didn't get a shot. And you know who else is probably real happy right now? Myles Gaskin. Myles Gaskin is still here. He's going to be probably the third running back, or maybe fourth if you want to count Alex Ingold. But Myles Gaskin is still here in case something happens. Let's get healthy and make some noise. Absolutely. I believe in that. Edmonds was a liability. Yeah. And there are a couple plays I was looking at in y'all 22. He also wasn't blocking. And in Mike McDaniel's offense, you have to block. Even Gesicki. I don't know if you guys have been watching, but Mike Gesicki is becoming a better blocker. He realized his livelihood with this team exists by knowing how to block. So I love what he's been doing. What'd you say here? Tua needs to work on ball placement and reading. D, just my view. All right, so a guy goes 50 for 71 in his last two games for 600 and 700 yards with touchdowns out the wazoo, no interceptions. What placement does he have to work on? Is this sarcasm? Tell me about it. I mean, you really just tweeted that, or actually messaged me. You said he needs to work on ball placement. You're obviously not watching what we watch. Yes, the Dolphins are indeed making perfect moves. We're pretty much done for the year in terms of trading. So now we got to ball out with the guys that we have. Let's see. Oh, love this. Tua haters, sit down. The Chubb trade means Tua is the future. Yep. I said it in my last video. I guarantee you he gets signed, gets the big bag at the end of the year. He is Mike McDaniel's guy. Whether or not they go far in the playoffs or not, this is year one. Mike McDaniel is looking long term. Absolutely. Where is that? Okay. Josh Greenwell had a good one here. These passes that look like they aren't perfect is because he is throwing through windows. Yep. Little windows, and he's hitting them. Tua is the Steph Curry of the NFL. God first, and you'll triumph over everything. He'll definitely do it. Absolutely. Bless you. Tua is too good to be true. No, believe it. Absolutely believe it. The guy was hurt. Got hurt again, and people say he's made of plastic, but yeah, I'm sure now. Have you seen Tyreek? I'm sure Tyreek is getting him out there and helping him get in shape as well. Tua equals Neo. This is a good one. Tua equals Neo and McDaniel equal Morpheus. Yeah, I don't have my sunglasses, but I would put those on and say the same thing. The chosen one. You're the one. He is the one. Absolutely. Can Chris Greer get Chris Greer was silent. It was like a silent assassin. People were talking, what are you going to do? What's going to happen? What kind of deal are you going to make? Hey, man, it's 2:30. You only got to 4 o'clock. What are you doing? You're going to just miss the trade deadline? And then boom, he drops a massive trade to get Chubb and what's the running back as well. Unbelievable. Yes, Chris Greer turned that into 3 first-round picks we got from the Niners. Waddle, Hill, Chubb. That ain't bad at all. Tua is a top 5 quarterback. I watched him since high school. Anybody that didn't believe that he was the future from day one hasn't watched him before his NFL days. Yeah, I believe that. Let me go here. And this is a really true one. The team believes in Tua. If you didn't see that interview with Raheem Mostert, I'm going to see if I'm going to get a couple cuts from it. But the interview that Raheem Mostert did, and you've seen Tyreek talk about him. You know Jalen loves him. They all realize he is like Neo. He is the chosen one. They all believe it. Mike McDaniel believes it. The team believes it. And at this point, they don't believe any game is out of reach. They've come back. They've prevailed after craziness and penalties and injuries, and now we're going on another winning streak. These guys believe in this guy. Let's see here. Not surprised at all with Tua's success this far, minus all his injuries. Looking back to his college days, he balled. Yeah, look at the history. Let's look at the game film. You can see this for sure. I just saw a good one about. Okay, here's this one. Imagine, where this franchise would be if Flores had traded for Watson. It's scary. It's absolutely scary. Ask the Browns. Browns just paid Deshaun Watson $240 million, and this guy hasn't played in what, a year and a half, 2 years? I wouldn't do it. Tua, you're saying 28 of 32, 5 TDs, 420 yards with the Bears. Love to see it. I can't say he couldn't do it, but let's not have the penalties we had this time. Let's not have all of the missteps. And please, defense, step it up from the first quarter. Don't wait and shut people out in the second half. Love the adjustments that Boyer made, but let's not give up 27 points in the first half. Hopefully Chubb can help with that. Yeah, I really do believe this. Where'd that go? That Chubb is going to make Phillips a better player. Absolutely. Just the same way Tyreek is working with Jalen Waddle is the same way you'll see guys like Chubb work with Jalen Phillips. I bet you Jalen Phillips is cracking a champagne bottle out tonight. He's not going to have to, for the most part, fight through 2 or 3 defenders because he's the only guy that was rushing. Now you got an elite guy on the other side. Just think of that, what that's going to do to an opposing offense. We're going to find out a lot this Sunday. Justin Fields has got a good pair of legs on him. He likes to run, and they better be ready to contain this guy. You know what's scary? He says here, Tua and McDaniel are still just figuring things out. You know what's scarier? McDaniel, yeah, he's the coach. But Tua, Tyreek, Jalen, this guy Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Mike Gesicki, they're all young guys. There's not somebody here that's going to be like, hey, you know what? I've been playing for 10 years and I'm going to hang it up. Let's see, how old is Gesicki? I'm looking on my chart here. Mike Gesicki's only 26 years old. So all these guys are 24, 25, 26. Do you see the run that the Miami Dolphins can have now? Their entire nucleus is very young. I mean, let's see, Teron Armstead, and boom, we get down here and we see how old he is. He's 10 years out of college, so he's 32. So he might be one of the most senior guys. Melvin Ingram's been in 11 years. Let's see who else. Justin Bethel's been 11 years. But other than that, these are all young guys. They're doing what they're doing with 20-somethings. I think a lot of people miss that. When your entire nucleus of your team is under 26 and you're set up the way you are now, that could go for quite some time. Let's see right here. Bears have number 1 run O and 32 pass O, so we have a number 1 run D. Yeah, that looks like it's problematic for the Bears, that's for sure. Team morale is a game changer. This is one of the things that Brian Flores didn't have, and it looked like he didn't care. Team morale is a game changer. We have the right leaders and personalities to keep us in any game. And Mike McDaniel, as we said in some of these videos, he believes adversity is nothing but opportunity for long-term growth. Well, I bet you every guy in the locker room now is sitting back going, yeah, let's do this. Absolutely, morale is going to be up. How much, okay, what you say here, how much will the cold weather affect the Finns late in the season? As a former player, I can tell you I would much rather play in cold weather than I would in hot weather. Hot weather sucks your energy out. Cold, okay, I put a sweatshirt on, I put some long johns on, do what I need to do, put on the long tights, do what I need to do, stay warm. But if you're moving, it doesn't really affect you that much. You're okay. Does it affect Tua in the throw? Could. It's not going to affect the receivers. I mean, sometimes it might be like catching a brick, but it's going to be more pressure on the defense. And here's what I mean by that. You got 2 burners in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert, so you got 3. If you slip, you're toast. If you're going backwards and it's slippery, it's raining or something, you're done. You're absolutely done. This guy's gone. He's past you. So, yeah. And also, I think the Bears are playing. You're absolutely right. I think the Bears are playing for next year. They just traded Roquan Smith, who is like the best linebacker on their team. So Raheem Mostert's probably going, oh man, this is looking good. This is looking real good for me this week. I'm just going to run behind the big guy, Teron Armstead, and get some yards. Bill Cowher should have stayed with Pittsburgh. He took the money, went up into the booth. Now he can just sling crap against people. I hate that kind of stuff. Love what was done today. My only problem is that we keep beating ourselves with dumb penalties. From Barbados, yes. Thank you, Barbados. You're out there, great. You're absolutely right. Penalties can't do it. And Mike McDaniel gave us a little bit of a hint that the league was initiating this stuff, that they were the ones who were telling the refs to call these penalties. So hopefully a weekend, we've had practice. By Sunday, they've got that part wrapped up. Let's see what happens. Somebody else had said this. Edmund Scissorhands gone. Now Iggy is the only cringeworthy player in the roster. I'm not going to talk bad about Iggy because he basically won the game against the Steelers. So let's just give him his respect right now. Do you think the Miami will beat the Bills in Buffalo at the end of the season? Don't know. I really don't know. There's too many factors involved. Bills are playing some awesome football. But what I can tell you is the teams that played earlier are obviously not the same teams that would be playing at the end of the season. You've seen that today. It's going to be a different team. So that's a game changer. How it turns out, can we stop Josh from running around? I think so. I think now with Jalen Phillips and with Chubb out there, we might be able to contain him better, which means now the D-backs, hopefully X-Man is better by then and doesn't make some of the same mistakes he made before. He can stay with Stephon Diggs. So never know. Do you think Do you think because of the trade today, this is a Super Bowl run? Don't know. You can't predict that. What you can say with great certainty that this team has the capabilities of a deep Super Bowl run. No doubt about it. Can we say it is? A lot of things are going to have to happen. Number one, you got to keep protecting Tua. But number two, penalties, turnovers, XYZ injuries. So they definitely, there's nobody right now, none of the haters, no one. Everyone on ESPN can get up every Monday morning and they can talk shit about the Miami Dolphins, but they can't say they don't have the potential. Right now, definitively, the Miami Dolphins have the potential to win the Super Bowl. Will they? I can't predict that. I see us losing no more than 2 games before the playoffs. Can't tell. Greer is the oracle. Why we're getting to all these Matrix comments here. All right, guys. This is a big one. If Byron Jones can come back, then you're really going to see something. If he gets his leg fixed and he can get back on the field, and then you got Brandon Jones as well, who knows what'll happen. Chubb tip ball. What's this? Chubb can tip the ball in the air, and we can get more INTs for sure. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining me tonight. It's been fun. I wanted to do more with Tua, but I got preempted by what we saw, which was the big news of the day. The Dolphins made a serious couple moves that are really going to change the game and change the entire season, in my estimation, moving forward. So I'm going to talk to you guys probably tomorrow, if not Thursday, and definitely Sunday as well. Talk to you